Hey guys, well I guess I'm about to wrap it up. I've got maybe one more thing to do to this gator, and then I'll be ready to put all the plastic panels back on and put the bed on. I've been out driving it around this morning, and boy, it's so much quieter than my other gator. Now you hear the chain, but that's compared to hearing nothing at all. And normally my other gator, I've got that Briggs & Stratton engine running full throttle back here behind it, and it is just very loud. So just an update, what I did, I took, and by the way, there's my battery charge connector. I think that's for a club car. I just 3D printed this plate to go around it where the gas cap used to be. It's kind of at an odd angle. That thing comes at an angle, and you have to fit it in there among all the steel tubing and stuff. It's kind of weird, but on the instrument panel, I just ended up using that gauge. I put in a cheap battery meter from Amazon, and I see they've got a lot of different ones, so I may go back and get a different one. This golf cart forward reverse switch is just slightly bigger than the knockouts in this dash. Since this panel is easy to replace, I decided just to cut a hole over here and not mess up the dash, but we'll see. I'm still using my Clark programmable programmer for my computer. I've been out testing it this morning. I put 7.3 miles on it, and I've got my batteries down to 46 volts, so it should easily go 10 miles on these small battery packs, which is just great. We hardly ever use these gators for more than 3 or 4 miles a day, so it should work out really good for us without having to expand the pack. So what I've got back here, I went ahead and added one more aluminum plate, and I put two 400 amp fuses on it. I rewired it so now that the inverter draws directly from the battery pack and not going through the BMS. And I've also got the batteries connected in parallel. The charge port goes through the BMS, so it charges through the BMS. It just doesn't take power from the BMS, and that solved a lot of other problems I was having. Chain's working fine. This is just like a Harley Davidson O-ring chain from Amazon. Right now I just got to go back before I put the bed on, and I'm just gonna clamp all these wires down. And I've also got a 48 volt to 12 volt charger that I'll be mounting right under here, and that will charge my 12 volt battery that the Gator runs off of. Anyway, it's pretty cool. You can sneak up on just about anything compared to the other Gator. And I've also going to have two different tunes on it, one for kids and one for everybody else. So, but anyway, that's what's going on right now. If you got any questions about this, let me know. I will say a couple things too. I'm sure most of you guys could have done a better job than me on this. I mean, in the end, it's kind of simple after you look at it, but going into the project, there were just a lot of stuff I didn't know. And second, when you're working around all this high voltage stuff, you be very careful that the battery ground and the chassis ground are separate. When you're working on these big fuses, and you have if your chassis was grounded, you reach up and you touch this stuff, I mean, you could get electrocuted. There's a lot of amperage in these things, even though the voltage is not very high. So it's very important to keep your chassis ground separate from the battery's ground. And sometimes when you're working on things like the contactor and maybe other devices you got in here, you have to really think it through to do that. And that's why we use like relays. Anyway, I'll clean all this wiring up this week and put the bed on it, and then we'll just start enjoying this thing instead of working on it all the time. Later.